Welcome back to the review space. This is the Monday Night Raw review. Last night, Monday Night Raw, September 26, 2016, the fallout after Clash of Champions. Let's begin right away. Roman Reigns taking on Rusev for the United States title. It's kind of a rematch. You know how it is. They got the rematch clause. They go about 20 minutes. Very long match. The match ended in a double countout. Roman Reigns took a chair at the end of the match. He sat on it, and then he hit Rusev with it later on. It was just this long segment. I mean, it just seemed kind of Roman Reigns asserting his dominance, basically. And you guys know how I feel about Rusev. I mean, I think Rusev should be going after the main title, the Universal Championship. They should be easing him into that position. The crowd during pretty much this whole match, they really booed the hell out of Roman. Pretty much, they still hate him, they still have a negative reaction to him, but some people do cheer him when he does like a big move, when he does a spear, and then when he won. Some people still gave him some good reaction. You know, they would react to him the same way that they used to do for John Cena back in 2006. The tweener. He is a tweener, in between. You know, some people hate him, some people love him, and it is what it is. That's sad. I mean, I don't know how you would fix Roman Reigns. I would turn him heel and make him into a complete silent villain, badass, and he'd kill everybody, you know what I mean? He's like an assassin almost, kind of similar to his Shield days when he was in the Shield being a heel. But it looks like they're not going to go through that because they want a new John Cena, and I think that's just a big mistake. Now we get a commercial for WWE 2K17. What a great commercial this was. Apparently, the game hits stores in just a couple of weeks. I think it was October 11, 2016, so just next month. And we see, basically in the commercial, we see a very seedy, very drabby-looking city full of crime and mayhem. A lot of things going on, a lot of chaotic things. We see guys like Seth Rollins. He's standing on top of a building, almost like a superhero. Dean Ambrose, we see him throwing a guy inside a dumpster. Some back alley somewhere. We see people wearing a lot of Wyatt masks, you know, the sheep masks. Alberto Del Rio is inside a bar, some kind of bar, which is funny because he's no longer in the WWE, so he's going to be in this game, and he's left, he's gone, he's not in WWE anymore, and we know the infamous story behind it, and him and Paige and all that bad thing that they had, you know what I mean? The WWE really kind of wanted them to split up, I guess, because they put them on separate brands, and Alberto Del Rio was unhappy with just being in the WWE. He wanted out of his contract, so that was kind of I wouldn't say that they left on bad terms. I think that they left on mutual terms, WWE and Alberto. They went their separate ways, but Alberto is no longer in WWE. He doesn't want to be in there anymore. Sheamus also, he made a cameo in this in the same ad, and of course Brock Lesnar that's fucking stupid. Brock Lesnar is seen inside the underground cage fighting arena, and Paul Heyman is also there. I haven't played a WWE 2K game since like 2K14, so it's been a couple of years, over 2 years now. So I thought the ad was pretty cool for a wrestling game, and way better than the one that they had on YouTube. The one they have on YouTube with P. Diddy doing the song. We got Cesaro and Sheamus. They're now a tag team, apparently, announced by Mick Foley because he was so impressed by both of their dominant performances during the Best of 7 series. Both will compete against for the WWE World Tag Team Championships sometime in the future. I'm sure it's going to be... They're going to have really good chemistry because the moment that Mick Foley said that, I was like, yes! This is a great little swerve. I thought that was cool. I didn't expect that he would make them into a tag team. I expect them to be a solid tag team that has some kind of tension between them. This leads into the tag team title rematch between the New Day and Gallows and Anderson. The New Day retained the tag team championships. Kofi Kingston got busted up sometime in the match. He was bleeding like a freaking pig, like a stuck pig. By the end of it, his face was really, really wet. And he had a lot of color on his face. The other wrestlers, like Big E and Gallows, had a bit of his blood as well on their skin. So, I mean, it looked really, it looked very bloody. It's the most blood I have seen since, God, was it like some last time somebody bled a lot? Maybe like in a Brock Lesnar match, when Randy Orton had that match with Lesnar. I mean, it was, he was smiling too, like Kofi Kingston. You can see him smiling a little bit. He was like, yeah, like almost like he was enjoying it. Like, yeah, I'm fucked up, but he got the pinfall. You know what I mean? Like, it was just one of those things that made it feel so real. It made it seem so much more gritty. Bayley squashing a jobber named Anna Fields. It was probably a bit more competitive than it should have been, this particular match. But Bayley gets the pinfall. She cut a quick promo after the match, saying that she and the WWE Universe are on this journey together. She's a total babyface, you know, and one of the most likable characters in the roster. In other words, basically what she said was, this is going to be a hell of a long time before she can win the woman's title. It's going to be a long journey, because she's better off as an underdog challenger chasing for the championship instead of being the actual champion. Rich Swann and Cedric Alexander take on Drew Gulak and Lindsay Dorado in a cruiserweight match. This was pretty damn good action. A lot of high-risk maneuvers, brutal moves, particularly the lumbar check from Cedric to Dorado. And of course, Lindsay doing the moonsault to the outside. Swann and Cedric gets the pinfall in the end. The fans seemed to really get into it as the match went on, so that's good. But they just need to give these cruiserweight guys a reason to fight instead of just having these sports-like matches. It seems like, yeah, they need more something behind them, an actual story to tell. We get Cesaro and Sheamus defeating two jobbers in a tag team match. So this is Cesaro and Sheamus actually fighting together as a team. They were playing up being disagreeable. They were competitive, dynamic between Cesaro and Sheamus. They were basically trying to one-up each other in some ways. This could be another Mizdow thing, you know, like Damien Sandow. When he was getting positive reaction, people would cheer him. And Sheamus is kind of like the Miz, where he gets booed as a heel, you know. So it's kind of like heel babyface tag team dynamic, which I think could work. We get an in-ring promo by Charlotte. She was decked out in full Ric Flair robe and everything. Her Flair robe, she's gloating about being the queen and the face of the women's division. Charlotte is very good on the mic. I think she's a really good talker. And rightfully should be the women's champion. She's the best right now, hands down. Sasha Banks came out to challenge Charlotte for her rematch, and Charlotte basically agreed. She's like, yeah, I'll face you next week. And the crowd, of course, booed, and they were like, no, fuck this, we want it right now. And Sasha, instead of just walking away, she should be happy that frickin' Charlotte accepted it. She instead just slaps Charlotte in the face. She just smacked her, making her look like a complete bully, like a complete instigator. And I love how, like, the two women here in this segment can't beat down Sasha. Like, realistically, Sasha is at a handicap disadvantage. But instead, she was able to fight off Dana Brooke and Charlotte at the same time. She was able to come out looking like the stronger one. So it's like, oh, wow, like Super Sasha. Tony Nese taking on Cruiserweight Champion TJ Perks. This was pretty much the dead spot of the show. Felt kind of bad for these guys, but at the same time, at least they're on the show. At least they're on the card. Not that they didn't have a decent match either. You know, they had some pretty good spots. But most of the crowd just seemed so disinterested in this. They just didn't care. At some points, you know, we heard chants of CM Punk, CM Punk, CM Punk during the match, and Randy Savage chants, you know, Randy Savage. Which is basically the crowd saying that they'd rather see something else. You know, like, fuck this, we don't want to see this. Like, this is boring. Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho taking on Enzo and Big Cass. This all occurred after, like, one long promo in the ring, where Kevin Owens was talking, he was saying a lot of stuff. Seth Rollins came out, he was forced back by Mick Foley and security. This was a basic main event. This was probably not the planned match that they had, because Seth was apparently not medically cleared to perform. So I guess he was actually somewhat injured in Clash of Champions, and that was a real thing. Overall, this was a watchable kind of watchable show, but run-of-the-mill, very basic, and it was somewhat forgettable by the end of the night. Again, not a bad episode of Raw, but just, it is what it is. Nothing stood out like amazing shit going on, you know, nothing highly incredible that made me even, like, fucking get excited. aside from maybe Cesaro and Sheamus being a tag team. I like the concept of it. So that's pretty much it. Can't wait for SmackDown live later tonight. So, alright, so that's it for this episode of the Review Space in this Monday Night Raw review. Check out the channel for more wrestling-related videos, and subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Until next time, peace.